There are people who flirt for a season, people who love for a moment. And then there are the rare souls who love as if the stars carved one name into their heart and told them, this is the one you will carry forever. Not everyone is built for that kind of devotion. Not everyone knows how to stay when life gets hard, how to keep choosing the same person after the magic of the first glance fades into the truth of ordinary days. But some zodiac signs are different. They do not treat love like entertainment, a passing thrill, or a game to feed their ego. When they truly fall, they fall with depth, memory, loyalty, and a frightening kind of sincerity. They do not love often, but when they do, they love with their whole fate. And that is exactly why being chosen by one of them can change a life. The truth is, the rarest lovers are not always the loudest. Sometimes they are the people who watch quietly, who take longer to trust, who test the waters before revealing their heart. Sometimes they seem guarded, impossible to read, even distant. But underneath that restraint lives something extraordinary, a love so deep it becomes a private religion. These are the signs who do not hand their soul to everyone. They wait, they observe, they feel everything. And when they finally know that what they feel is real, they do not love halfway. They become protectors, partners, safe places, home. Being loved by them feels like finally exhaling after years of holding your breath. It feels like being seen without being judged, wanted without being used, chosen without conditions. What makes these 7 signs so unforgettable in relationships is not perfection. It is not constant sweetness, endless romance, or some movie-like fantasy. It is the depth of their emotional truth. They love with memory. They remember your voice when you are tired, the expression you wear when you pretend to be fine, the dreams you only confessed once at a M. They do not just fall for beauty, chemistry, or excitement. They fall for essence, for soul, for the hidden self behind the performance. That is why their love lasts. It is built not only on attraction, but on recognition. Somewhere inside, they feel, I know you, I was meant to find you. And once that feeling takes root, it becomes nearly impossible for them to replace it with someone else. If one of these signs loves you for real, do not play with their heart. Do not make them prove themselves forever while giving little in return. Do not assume their loyalty means they will endure neglect without consequence. The deepest lovers are also the ones who break the deepest when betrayed. But if you meet them and love them back with honesty, tenderness, and consistency, you may discover the kind of relationship most people search for their entire lives and never find. These are the signs who make love feel sacred again. The ones who remind us that true partnership is still possible. The ones who do not simply enter your life, but change its emotional climate forever. Taurus. Taurus is one of the purest examples of once-in-a-lifetime love. This is not a sign that rushes into emotional chaos or falls for every beautiful smile. Taurus takes time. They study a person slowly, carefully, almost like they are listening for truth beneath the words. At first, they may seem calm, practical, even reserved, but that is because they do not believe love should be wasted on temporary people. They are searching for someone real, someone safe, someone whose presence does not disturb their soul but settles it. And once Taurus feels that rare sense of trust, their love becomes one of the most dependable forces in the zodiac. They do not just offer romance, they offer constancy. They become the person who remembers what comforts you, what hurts you, what you need before you ask. Their affection lives in actions more than speeches, the hand on your back in a crowded room, the meal made when you are exhausted, the quiet loyalty that never asks for applause. What makes Taurus so special in relationships is that they love in a grounded, embodied way. Their love is not abstract. It has weight, warmth, and presence. They want to build something that survives real life, not just beautiful moments. They know how to create emotional security, and that is far rarer than dramatic passion. So many people want excitement, but Taurus gives something deeper, peace. With them, happiness does not feel fragile. It feels stable. It feels protected. And when Taurus truly loves, they remain emotionally faithful even in silence, even at a distance, even through hard seasons. They do not easily erase someone from their heart. That is why being loved by Taurus makes people feel treasured in a way they never forget. You are not just wanted for a moment. You are chosen for the long road. Cancer. Cancer is another sign that loves with extraordinary depth and perhaps more tenderly than almost anyone. Cancer does not fall in love with appearances alone. They fall in love with emotional truth, with softness, with the vulnerable human being beneath the surface. This sign feels everything intensely, even when they try to hide it behind humor, shyness, or moodiness. Their heart is ancient. Their instincts in love are almost mystical. They can sense when someone is hurting, when someone is lonely, when someone needs more reassurance than they know how to ask for. And when Cancer loves, they do not just want to be your partner. They want to be your safe harbor. They want to know your story, your wounds, your childhood, your fears, your hopes for the future. They love through emotional memory, and once a person becomes important to them, that bond can live inside them for years. Why do people become truly happy around Cancer? Because Cancer makes love feel personal and deeply alive. They notice the tiny emotional details others miss. They know when your smile is forced. They know when you need to be held, when you need silence, when you need someone to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Their loyalty comes from the soul, not from obligation. If they commit to you, they will fight for the connection, protect it, nurture it, and pour themselves into it with astonishing devotion. Yes, they can be sensitive. Yes, they can retreat when hurt. But that sensitivity is exactly what makes their love so healing. With Cancer, many people experience something they have missed their whole lives: emotional safety. They feel allowed to be fully human. And when a person feels safe enough to be real, that is often where real happiness begins. Scorpio. Scorpio loves with a depth that can feel almost destiny-driven. This is a sign people often misunderstand, because Scorpio does not reveal their heart lightly. They can appear guarded, intense, private, and even intimidating. But that is only because they understand the power of emotional attachment better than most. They know love can transform a person, ruin a person, heal a person, awaken a person. So they do not step into it carelessly. Scorpio waits until they feel something undeniable, something magnetic, something that reaches below attraction and into the realm of obsession, loyalty, and soul recognition. When that happens, Scorpio becomes one of the most fiercely devoted lovers in the zodiac. They do not love in a casual way. They love with totality. They want truth, absolute closeness, emotional nakedness. They want the bond that exists even when no one else can see it. What makes Scorpio unforgettable in relationships is their emotional intensity combined with profound loyalty. When they know they have found their person, they become deeply protective, deeply invested, and astonishingly faithful at the level that matters most, the heart. Scorpio does not give fragments. They give the hidden chambers of themselves that almost no one gets to enter. They want a love that strips away masks and reaches the raw center of who both people really are. That can be overwhelming for those who only want something light, but for the right partner, it feels electrifying and sacred. Being loved by Scorpio means being loved by someone who sees your shadows and does not immediately run. Someone who wants all of you, not just the polished version. And that is why people feel transformed around them. Scorpio's love makes a person feel desired, known, and irreplaceable. It is not gentle in the way Cancer's love is gentle, or steady in the way Taurus is steady. It is powerful, consuming, life-altering. But for those lucky enough to receive it honestly, it becomes the kind of love they compare every future connection to. Virgo. Virgo is one of the most underestimated lovers in the zodiac, because their love is rarely loud at the beginning. They do not usually arrive with theatrical confessions, reckless promises, or dramatic emotional storms. Instead, Virgo watches, listens, remembers, and slowly begins to care in ways that are so precise and thoughtful they can change a person's life. This sign does not fall in love with fantasy alone. Virgo falls in love when they see who someone really is beneath the charm, beneath the performance, beneath the beautiful noise. They are drawn to sincerity, intelligence, consistency, and emotional integrity. That is why their love is so rare and so lasting. Virgo does not give their heart easily, because they understand that real love is not only about desire, but about responsibility. When they choose someone, they begin building a quiet, invisible world of devotion around them. They want to help, protect, improve, support, and stand beside the person they love in practical, meaningful ways. Their affection lives in details, remembering your schedule, noticing when your energy shifts, solving problems before they become burdens, caring for your future as if it were tied to their own. What makes Virgo so special in relationships is that they love through devotion, not performance. They are not interested in shallow passion that burns bright and disappears. They want a bond that becomes stronger with time, honesty, and shared effort. They are faithful because they are intentional. Once Virgo decides that your soul is safe in their hands, they do not play games with your heart. They may be cautious, even critical at times, but beneath that is an extraordinary tenderness. People become truly happy around Virgo because Virgo makes love feel dependable, intelligent, and healing. They help people become better without making them feel broken. They love with patience, loyalty, and the kind of care that turns ordinary life into something deeply comforting. Being chosen by Virgo means being loved by someone who notices everything and stays for all the reasons that matter. Capricorn. Capricorn is another sign that often loves only once with their entire being, because they do not treat love as a temporary emotional adventure. Capricorn is serious about connection, even when they pretend not to be. They may seem composed, ambitious, even emotionally controlled, but inside them is a heart that longs for a rare and enduring bond. Capricorn does not trust quickly because they understand how much love can influence the course of a life. They know the wrong person can distract, wound, and weaken, while the right person can become a source of strength, meaning, and peace. That is why they choose carefully. They are looking for someone they can respect, build with, protect, and remain proud of through changing seasons. When Capricorn falls in love, it is not random. It is profound. It is intentional. It is the kind of love that makes them rearrange their priorities, soften their habits, and reveal the tenderness they usually hide from the world. What makes Capricorn unforgettable in relationships is that they combine loyalty with endurance. They do not vanish when life becomes inconvenient. They do not run because emotions become complex. They stay, they carry, they work through things. Their love is not always easy or effortless, but it is real, and real love is what lasts. Capricorn shows love by making a future feel possible. They become the partner who thinks ahead, creates stability, and quietly protects the relationship from chaos. People become truly happy around Capricorn because this sign makes them feel safe in the deepest sense, not just emotionally, but practically, spiritually, and even financially. Capricorn loves like someone building a home in a storm carefully, strongly, and with the intention that it will still be standing years later. If they call you theirs in their heart, they do not mean for a season. They mean for the long road, for the difficult chapters, for the life after the fireworks. And that kind of love is incredibly rare. Pisces. Pisces may be the most poetic example of once-in-a-lifetime love, because when Pisces truly loves, they love with soul, imagination, mercy, and emotional surrender. This is a sign that does not merely want companionship. Pisces wants union. They want the kind of connection that feels written before the relationship even began, the kind where two people look at each other and sense that they have known one another much longer than logic can explain. Pisces often carries a huge emotional universe inside them, full of longing, dreams, tenderness, romantic ideals, and a deep belief that love should mean more than convenience. That is why they can be wounded by shallow relationships more than most. They do not want cold affection or half-hearted attention. They want emotional truth. And when they finally find someone who touches their heart in that sacred way, Pisces becomes one of the most loyal and selfless lovers in the entire zodiac. They will forgive, encourage, nurture, inspire, and love with a softness that makes other people feel more beautiful inside their own lives. What makes Pisces so special is that they do not just love a person's strengths. They often love the hidden, fragile parts too. They see pain and do not always turn away. They see fear and want to soothe it. They see longing and want to answer it. Around Pisces, many people feel emotionally understood in ways they have never experienced before. Happiness comes so naturally around them because Pisces makes relationships feel magical without losing their emotional depth. They bring empathy, romance, intuition, and spiritual closeness into love. They know how to create moments that feel unforgettable, but even more than that, they know how to make a partner feel emotionally cherished. Of course, Pisces needs love in return. They need gentleness, honesty, and reassurance. But when they receive that, their devotion becomes almost limitless. To be loved by Pisces is to be held in someone's heart like a song they never want to stop hearing. Leo. Leo may surprise some people on this list, because Leo is often associated with confidence, charisma, and dramatic passion. But underneath all of that radiance is one of the warmest and most faithful hearts in the zodiac. Leo does not just want attention and love. Leo wants significance. They want a relationship that feels alive, proud, devoted, and real. This is a sign that may be admired by many, but they do not give their true heart to everyone who desires them. In fact, Leo can be extremely selective about who gets access to their deepest loyalty. They need admiration, yes, but even more than that, they need sincerity. They need to know that the person beside them is not simply attracted to their shine, but truly values their heart. Once Leo feels that kind of authentic emotional recognition, they become magnificently loving. They protect the person they love, defend them, celebrate them, encourage them, and pour warmth into the relationship with astonishing generosity. Leo loves in a way that makes life feel brighter. They bring enthusiasm, courage, sensuality, and emotional commitment. Their partner often feels more confident, more wanted, and more alive simply because Leo's love is so affirming. What makes Leo special in relationships is that they love with both passion and pride. When they choose someone, they do not hide it in shame or uncertainty. They stand by that person with a kind of golden-hearted loyalty that can be deeply moving. People become truly happy around Leo because Leo makes love feel joyful, visible, and strong. They are not afraid to show affection, to defend the bond, to fight for the relationship when it matters. Yes, they need appreciation, but that is because their love is sincere and full-bodied. They give so much of their spirit that they need to feel it is treasured. When Leo is loved well, they become one of the most devoted partners imaginable, the kind who makes their person feel chosen every single day.